somebody on the floor. No problem. I've got it. Hello, welcome to this week's edition of Middle-Aged Millennial MILF Podcast. I am super excited about this week's guest because he is one of the most amazing, talented actors for the Stricklands. Like, we're big fans. He's in Zombies, guys. All My Mom Zombies. And also, we discovered him through La Brea, which I feel like 5 of us have watched. And you were the best part. After you were off the show, we tried, and I was like, it's not the same. It's just not the same.
I'm a show killer. I did the same for a show called Wrecked. I killed Wrecked as well. I'm proudly a show killer.
When you leave, it's not as good. It turned into this weird sci-fi show. But yeah, also
shit no.
The dinosaurs, come on. When they bring in the dinosaurs, it's
like a baby dino rhinoceros or something like that. What was that? Baby triceratops?
It was just running through. We finished it and we're like, I really miss it. And we rewatched it and got to the 3rd season. And I was like, I'm kind of done. He's like, yeah, I'm pretty done too.
Hey, I want to tell you though, Natalie's just Natty Z. She was the most terrifying actor to start with because I think she had a lot of people in the crew and on the set a little terrified of her. She's one of the funniest, most brilliant, awesome humans I've worked with in so long. Like Natty, she's a boss bitch and she is fucking hysterical. Like I became such a huge fan. I go back and watch her in what's the one? The Other Guys. I go and watch her scene in The Other Guys just every now and then just to have a really good giggle and spend some time with her. Like, I love her. She's so much fun. We send each other Halloween memes all the time every year where we got a Halloween thing. But
you and Natty Z, no big deal.
Natty Z. But she's like that woman, dude. I was like, I love her. I love her. I mean,
she was on The Following.
She was on what?
The Following with Kevin Bacon.
Oh, I don't know. I don't watch anything.
Well,
I don't watch anything.
This was like fucking 2011. You weren't watching anything in 2011?
2011. I wasn't even born.
You're just a babe. You popped out looking like George Washington.
Yeah. With the teeth and everything.
They look beautiful.
I had my face so smashed up playing rugby. These are all fake. I got my jaw and everything had to be rebuilt because I was just like losing face, and they put the teeth in, and now I'm still losing face. So I have woken up during a bone graft on my face. I have dental nightmares I'm the worst human being in the world when it comes to,
You need to go to Turkey. I had the best dental experience in Turkey. Swear to God.
That's when I go to the hair transplants, right?
$50. I got a $50 filling.
Holy shit.
He had no nitrous, and I was like, dude, I can't do this without nitrous. So like the nurse is holding my hand. It was the most gentle shot. And I took a picture with them. I was like, you're amazing. I really enjoyed this dental experience. Because normally it's like that. It's terrifying. And he's just like, you're fine. You're shot, done.
My dentist, after a couple of oral surgeries, he literally would come. I didn't even know he was there. He would hold my hand while I was under because he knew what was going on. Like, because of these like times I surfaced out of the anesthetic. Like, he was like, I'm there to make sure this doesn't happen again.
That's so cool. Sweet.
Isn't that amazing? Dr. Robert
You should send him Christmas cards.
Boston Dental Surgery in La Cañada or somewhere in LA. He's amazing.
I thought you were going to say Boston. I was like, I was just in Boston too. We're just hitting all the marks, aren't we?
Hey, Boston, best place in the world to go and get punched in the face.
It seemed like that's all there is to do. Like, I was like, I don't fucking get it.
Yeah, Boston's like that. Hey, you got $20? I need to get. I haven't got my wallet. I need to get back to Waltham. I haven't got $20. Well, fuck you, and fuck her. Like, dude, you're the one panhandling. Fuck off.
Oh, that's every other street. Somebody's trying to sell me a Wu-Tang Clan. I guess they were in town. I'm like, sir, I'm not a Wu-Tang fan. He's like, yes, you are. Just get the shirt. I'm like, I don't want your shirt. This is weird.
Buy the fucking shirt, bitch.
Yeah, that's it. I'm like, we're just here overnight. I don't even want to be here. I want to go home.
I broke a Wahlberg once. I was on, was it Blue Bloods? I think Donnie's on that. And I showed up for my first day, and he's gonna beat me up and slam me against the wall. And the stunty's like, hey, look, Donnie's a little, he's a Boston guy. He's a Wahlberg. He'll what he's gonna do is he's gonna try and beat you up a little bit just to show that he's the big guy. And that just doesn't kind of fly with me, because I don't care. And so we come in, and he grabs me and throws me against the wall pretty hard. And everyone's like, he's just Donnie. And I was like, hey, great. I love that. So this is good. But let's try it again, but actually put some force into it. Let me feel it. And he gives me this look. And so we do it again. And he grabs me a real handful of me, gives me a shake, and then just slams me into this wall as hard as he can. And I go, cool. Look, when we do the shot, don't hold back. Actually, you can use some force. And I can see the stunty just looking at me like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing to me?
You're going to die.
We do the take. He comes in, grabs my shirt, gives me a good hard like shake, and then just slams me as hard as he can into the wall. Everyone sort of jumps, and I come back, and I'm like, cool, don't hold back, Donnie. And he goes, I think I broke my thumb. And he grabbed too much of me and had sprained his thumb when he was doing it. And the stunty guy just looks at me and goes,
you saved the day forever.
He's like, I love it. I was like, yeah, if he thinks he's a big dog, I'll be a different species.
Well, I think that he's making up for Mark Wahlberg being much more successful, right? I mean, Donnie Wahlberg, like New Kids on the Block. Come on, man. Like, you peaked a long time ago. You got Jenny McCarthy, but she's also an anti-vaxxer, so good luck with that.
I didn't know she was in New Kids on the Block. That was terrific time for him.
That was, Donnie Wahlberg. I'm sure he got a lot of New Kids on the Block tail. I don't know how much Blue Bloods tail he's getting now.
Everyone's banging Tom Selleck instead. They're hanging out with the Republicans.
Hey, he's got that mustache. I think that it just woos people.
My wife sends me. I'm only ever. I have to go on Instagram sometimes because she's like, I've sent you 50 things. You have to watch them, and then I'll watch his shit, and then But she keeps sending me. I guess Tom Selleck's just constantly doing the rounds of Instagram, wearing shorts and looking sexy. So she just sends me stuff of Tom Selleck. Like, I don't look like that guy. I'm sorry.
You're like, is this like a hint? Am I supposed to go to Turkey and like make me into Tom Selleck, please?
Yeah, do I need a hair transplant on my lip and maybe just? Are you telling me to lose weight?
He's in fantastic shape for an elderly man.
I know, it's disgusting. All right,
Did you get to meet him?
Sorry.
Did you get to meet him if you were on Blue Bloods?
Get to meet Thomas.
Was your wife so upset?
No, she was in LA anyway, and I flew out. I flew to New York for that one, but I didn't get to meet Thomas. I was so sad. I got to meet Alan Alda one time from MASH.
Is he still alive?
He is. It was
sorry,
the one time I've been genuinely starstruck in my life.
Really?
Yeah, they did. Glenn Ross. My friend was in. A couple of friends were in it on Broadway this year. This is an earlier production, and I turn up. I watch the opening night. I see him in it, and there's Jeff Tambor. There's like all these. It was amazing. Tom Wopat from Dukes of Hazzard. He's a theater boy, but like all these great performers, and I'm backstage hanging out with everyone, and I'm nicking up to my friend's dressing room, and it's opening night, and it's all the fun thing. And as I'm going up, Alan Alda, who I've just been in a theater watching for 2 hours, knowing that I'm going to meet, he comes down the stairs. I'm going up the stairs. I just take one look at him, and I went face first down. I just completely fell over. He's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like,
MASH?
Yeah, it's just like you're my dream daddy from MASH. You're my role model. You're my masculine role model of my childhood. Yeah.
Well, was he nice? Did it live up to expectations?
He was gorgeous. It's disgusting how gorgeous he was. I loved him.
Has there been anybody that's really bad that you could say?
Absolutely.
You know what?
I can say. No, I've never had bad experiences with anyone. I've been really lucky. Even the people that are notoriously dickheads, anyone I've worked with, we get on really well, and it just becomes really fun.
Well, I think that it's your humor and deflecting, and
a little healthy deflection is always good.
I know that I'm good in any situation because of how I grew up. So I'm like a difficult person. I'm like, I can handle this. I can read mommy's moods.
Yeah.
Really well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. How is that codependency treating you for the rest of your life?
Yeah. Hey, I'm going to use it any way I can. They gave me nothing.
Yeah. Apart from a real need to corral everyone else's emotional experience.
Yes, exactly. I'm always on edge. I'm looking around. I'm like, you see what's going on over there? What's going on?
How strange that you end up working in retail. Like just...
I know. Constantly putting out fires.
Yeah, exactly.
Being like, oh, somebody shit on the floor. No problem. I've got it.
I'll clean it up. I'll make sure everyone's happy.
That's it. I think that's why they loved me. I was like, I'll work. I don't care. And I was like, what am I doing with my life? Then I quit, and now I'm doing this and not making any money doing this. I built some Legos.
In the beginning, God created. So by making Lego, you are participating in a very deep form of worship.
Ah, there we go. I like it. And I listened to Drew's books, and I was like, all right, he actually is really good. So I can count on this money coming in. Yeah,
exactly. Like I married someone with talent.
Because I hadn't listened to him, and I was like, they're really good. He's like, you're just 5 years later. I'm like, yeah, but I'm better late than never.
you hadn't listened to you hadn't read or listened to his books or what?
No, I hadn't. No, until I quit my job. I was worried. What if he wrote some weird shit, and then that's all I could ever think of? Like it wasn't a bad wife. It was being a good wife because I didn't want him to have to suffer my weird proclivity.
Well, there's kind of some purity to it that you're married to someone with talent and you just love them for their personality, and then you discover the talent much later and you're like, oh, this is not like, one of these art fucks. You're just like, oh no, I like you for you. And then you also happen to be, very, very good.
That's it. That's what I like to tell people. I'm like, he's an author, but like an author, like he's done more than one book.
Yeah, he's a writer. Oh, really? No. He's got books out. He's made them.
Yeah,
they live in the
he
world.
He didn't write a self-help book about like how he bounced back from something. Like it's real.
Hey, I'm working on one of those right now.
I'll write the foreword for you. I'll be like, from one fucked up to another.
Yeah, exactly. How not to suck as much as they did.
I think that's a good life goal. I mean, I don't know, but that's at this point, that's kind of all I'm going for.
Yeah, I think it's the only one that matters. I mean, if we to get a little deep on it, I think that is actually if you shift it even slightly to the better than you had, you're winning.
Then #winning. I mean, as long as I don't die at 65 of them cutting my legs off, and then my mom, her intestines exploded because, as Drew likes to say, she died as she was in life, full of shit.
Jesus. Oh my God. Oh, wow.
I wish I was making this up. That's why I didn't know she lied for so long, is because wacky shit like this happened to me. And I was like, well, this is just a weird family thing where weird stuff happens to us and weird stuff happens to her. All lies. We found out Nothing was ever true.
That's
Not one word.
It's insane.
It was lies, like, for what? She's like, don't worry, I'm pre-need, I'm taken care of. So I'm getting calls in Turkey. And I thought she did a pre-need and was just trying to get me. So finally I answer, I go, what? And they go, we need you to sign this so we can cremate your mom. I go, what? I go, she's dead? Like, you're telling me she's dead.
Like, dead.
Are you sure?
She's a dead person.
Yeah, she's dead. And they're like, you didn't know? And I was like, no, I didn't know. I'm out of the country. And she's like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Then you'll appreciate this. The next night we're out to dinner and I get a call from somebody else from the funeral home because we buried my father a month before. And she calls me and she goes, oh, I left your mom a message. And I just wanted to extend to you guys how sorry I am for your loss. I go, well, you can just walk down to your morgue. She's there with you right now. She died too.
Go downstairs.
Yeah. She goes, are you serious? I am so sorry. I said, you just made my night. Like, I fucking love shit like that. Like, you can never get too dark for me. Like, and she's like, thank God for your giggles. I think she was like flashing they were going to get sued. I'm like, this is the best thing that's ever happened to me.
It's not often you actually get to meet in the wild someone who loses their parents and can genuinely be like, you know what, fuck this. And there's this part of me that's like, I want to find where the pain point is as well. But like, I have a million questions and I don't know which one to start by asking.
Well, just start. Come on, please do. You know, I'm an open book.
I know. All right. One, were they abusive in terms of, was there sexual, physical abuse in your childhood?
No sexual abuse ever. A lot of emotional abuse. Mom was a covert narcissist. Dad had borderline personality. So it was very, don't have mom upset. Don't have dad get mad.
Yeah. Which is, now, did they have alcoholism or anything like that as well? It was just.
My dad was an alcoholic until I was 2 years old. Then he got clean, never drank again. She never let him forget it. She had a severe opioid problem from 2003 on. That's what caused the intestine issue. And then she'd lie about it. Like, I went in her house yesterday and there was pill bottles. There were piles of clothes. There were purses with tags still on them. It was like seeing someone else's mental illness. I was like, I need to get out of here. This is why I went no contact.
Well, when did you leave the house then as a child?
I moved out at 20 and got in an abusive marriage because that was a better choice than my parents' house. And I should have known then. But in my mind, you normalize it. They're my parents. Yeah, they do X, Y, and Z, but they're my parents.
Love me. They're my parents. I love them. They love me. Yeah.
Yeah, we're weird. Like, everyone was, after all this came out, everyone's like, well, we knew your parents were weird, but like, what were we going to say?
Wow. And then how long did their marriage last?
Oh, they were married till he died.
But how long did your first?
Oh, the first one. Oh God, 3 years. I left him for Drew.
Yeah.
And
it's so, I'm like, I love the patterning of this stuff. So you leave him for Drew, who's just like sweet. So at 20, you leave home, you get into the shitty marriage. Now again, emotional or physical?
Oh, he was physical.
Yeah.
He was the dumbest man I've ever met. And I say that like as a 40, like, he is the dumbest person I've ever met. He would talk and I'd be like, shut up, I hate you. I hate you. Like, it was so bad. So like, I was glad to get out, but my parents liked him.
Yeah.
Because my parents knew what was going on. They didn't do anything.
Yeah. It's just insane. It's so, I always love the mechanics of how these things play out. Right. I came from when I was 8 until I was 20 or 21. I was sexually abused by my godfather, just like nonstop. And that's sort of why I ended up running off to America as well. But basically 21, I went, this isn't right. And by 22, I think he was in 22, 23, he was in jail. And so I just got him in jail. And so I have like this particular damaged thing that I walk around with and have, slowly filtered through and figured out. And so I'm always just intrigued by how other people where they're at on the pathway, and then how they're dealing with all of the shit as it comes up, because it's so much fun. As like for me, all these things that I thought had left me completely broken, that then over the years I've just kind of worked to absorb and appreciate and just be what they are. Like I used to try to get away from all of my damage, and now I'm like, oh, that's just the shit. That's my shit. Well, when it pops up, I'm like, oh, this is, look at you. Look at you with your codependency right now. And now you're trying to control the other person's emotional state. And you can't.
That's safe.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's safe. Exactly. Look at you finding drama. Look at you, like, oh, something happened that was just a thing that happened. And look at you blaming yourself entirely for everything that went wrong and calling yourself a pile of shit, wanting to kill yourself. Look at that part of you and just be like, hey, dude, yeah, let it go. You don't need to be that mean to yourself. And it's so that's my journey, and I'm really at this place now where I love excavating it, and I love looking at it just as sort of historical, like just, oh, look where you were and look where you are now. So that's why I'm like, where do we dig? Where do we dig?
I hear everything you're saying. Like, I was no contact for 3 years. There was so much grief and stuff during that. But I went back I found out I have PMDD. So I had literal like bad mental illness. And I went over there in the middle of like an episode and was just screaming at them. And my dad was like, your mom never lies. And our parents were wonderful. And he's like, when did we become such bad parents? And they had given me a prescription pill problem. I kicked it in 2022. I go, when I got clean. And he goes, okay, Colleen. Colleen was my aunt who died of a drug overdose when I was 6 years old, who I wasn't allowed to talk about. It was a sister. And in that moment, I was just like, who on earth says something like this to their daughter? Like, it was just something in me flipped, and I saw him for exactly who he was. And when push came to shove, that's who that man was. And I walked out the door and I didn't see him again until he was in a coma. And that was great, because when he was in that coma, I got to say everything I ever wanted to say to him. And he couldn't yell at me. He couldn't fight back. It was my time. And I got to say everything.
It's amazing. Well, that's yeah, but that you had those 3 years, like you said, what did you call it? Separated? What was it?
No contact.
No contact. Yeah. That you kind of killed them. You killed the relationship. And you got to go through all of that, a lot of grieving stage and stuff then. That's amazing.
Oh, there was crying. There was, my favorite thing to talk about is how I wanted my brother to murder my parents.
Yeah.
So we could have a trial, and then I would be like the star of the trial, because they'd be like, oh, the daughter got out. Isn't she wonderful? Look at her trial outfit. So I got robbed of that, but at least they're gone.
I had my godfather, my dirty pedo. I was back in New Zealand in 2021, I guess. Came back in 2020, and I was touring a comedy show, and I was down in Wellington, which is where I knew he'd moved after he got out of prison. And so my face is up on billboards around the city with where I'm going to be and when. And I'm like, this dude could just show up. He could just be there in the audience, or he could just be across the street, and I could come in and out of that theater, and he would just be right there. And I began to get into this knotted, like really dark period of anxiety and shit. And I went to the Central Library. Wellington's our capital city. And I just pulled out the electoral roll and found his address, which was really close by. And I walked to his place in a slowly devolving spiral of terror and anxiety. Like I fell apart, but I was walking along there. My alert went off on my computer. Turn that off. I get to his shitty, horrible, ugly apartment block kind of thing, concrete shithole thing. And I get there, walk upstairs, and walk downstairs and then walk back upstairs and eventually knock on the door. And I went in and I sat with him for 2 hours. And it was like going into the dragon's cave. Like, I really was like, this is the bravest, most terrifying thing I have ever done. Like, so I walked in there, and the Voldemort that I was expecting, right? The dragon, the whatever the fuck this thing was that was going to be in there, was just the most vile little worm. Like, he was such a little worm of a human being, and so full of blame. And like, at one point, as he's going on about how the police had constructed my memories and all this kind of thing, and I was like, I went, hey, it's just the two of us here. Like, we don't have to bullshit.
Like, we both know what happened. We were both there, my man. Like,
there, like, why are you doing this? But it was amazing, because after that 2 hours, and I left, and I was like, wow, that I just did that thing, and that most terrifying of all creatures is just such a pathetic, lost, narcissistic, like, just so lost in his own shit. And walking away from that, like, it's that thing of, I didn't get to say what you got to say to your father, which is like, he's in the coma and you got to say everything. I had the opposite thing, where I went and I sat and I listened. And I let him say everything, but it's the same experience, right? I didn't, in the end, I didn't have anything to say to him, because there was nothing that could be said, but I got a chance to listen to him and all of his self-justification and all of his fucking bullshit, and just have it all laid out. And I got to just go, wow, you are so small. You are so small. And all my life you've been so massive, and you're fucking tiny. It's an incredible thing to have that, like, put it in a box, tie a bow on it, and be like, oh, I'm not going to throw it away. I put it up on the shelf. And every now and then I'll pull it down, untie the bow, go back into that box, and be like, wow, look at you.
You're still there.
All that damage you caused, I've still got it. You know, like, I'm working through it. I'm good. Like, I'm good. I love everything. But hey, put you back in your box, put you back on the shelf. We're great. You know, and so it's amazing. It's amazing that you got to do that with your father. It's amazing that you got to do that, to just sit there. Like you said, he couldn't say anything back. You know, that motherfucker can hear.
Oh yeah, that was it. I was like ready. And I also got to really, my dad always defended my mom. So in that moment, I was the strongest person in that room. And when they were going to cut off both his legs, she looked at me and I go, don't look at me. You're taking care of him. She goes, you're not going to help me? I go, fuck no. You're lucky you got 4 days of sympathy out of me.
Yeah.
And then she like walked away, and I go, if you want me to leave, tell me to leave. I will fucking leave this room right now. Tell me to leave, Rose. And she wouldn't do it. And that, I felt the power like you, where I'm like, I'm in control now.
Yeah.
They're not in control anymore.
And then how does that ripple out through everything else? I guess there's a part of that, like you said, has you leaving work and starting the podcast and doing stuff where you're like, fuck it, I got shit to do.
Well, then she died. Like, she left his memorial after like an hour to go take prescription pills. And I was like, you couldn't even, I knew exactly who she was. And she was like, I want you to go buy stuff for Walker. Go buy stuff for Walker. So I went and bought stuff for Walker with her card. And then I paid Walker's friend $20 to put my dad's ashes and her credit card on her front porch. And I sent her a picture of it and said, here's your stuff on the front porch. Bye. And then I blocked her. And she had no idea. That was the other thing. I tricked her. She thought she was back in. She thought I fell in line and I was a good little girl, and I fucking had her and I knew it. And she died less than a month later. I genuinely think that it was like she knew it was game over. There were no more victims to manipulate. I was too strong. She was never going to beat me. she noped out.
I mean, to jump to an entirely different topic, it's like the Epstein death, whether or not Jeffrey Epstein killed himself. And I'm like, I have known enough of these men that I tend to veer very far away from conspiracy theories. So maybe I'm entirely wrong. I'm very open to that. But the idea of Jeffrey Epstein finally losing all the power and being like, well, the last thing I can do is kill myself, because that's how I keep fucking everyone. No one gets to face me in court. No one gets to say this about me. I am gone. It was like, to me, it's the most on brand thing you can fucking do. Right. I saw the same thing with, again, I am a sex abuse. I'm a sex crime survivor. So I see other sex crime victims in a very certain way. When Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh had his hearing, and Christine Blasey Ford got up and sort of said all the stuff about, what had happened in high school and her recollections thereof of this sexual assault. And then when he got to have his say, I could have written every fucking line of what he wrote, where he was like, if you sow the wind, you will reap the wind. Like, he's quoting biblical passages to describe his experience of being accused of sexual assault. I was like, wow, dude, if anyone's ever said guilty as charged, you just fucking did. Because it's this massive ego, this massive narcissism, this like astonishing, like, I think until you've really confronted it, I don't think people realize how destructive that narcissistic mind is, both of everyone around them, but then also, if they have to, of themselves, right? That the mother that would go, oh, I've lost power. I'll fucking show you, Cindy. I'll show you, Beth. I'll show you, Margaret. I'll show every fucking one of you that thinks you've, I got you. I'm still in power. Blah, 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 blah. I died this way,
That was it. That was all she had left. I fully agree with you. And here, let's trauma dump. I was also raped in high school. So I understand that aspect. And it was right after my Nana died. It was the person I was closest to, and my parents were not there for me. So I started drinking. He was 21. He was older, and no one believed me because I was kind of promiscuous. And I found out years later that he went to jail for child pornography. And there was a little part of me that was like, validated. You know what I mean? That I was like, he was a scumbag. Yeah. And at least he got some comeuppance, because there's no justice for that. I'm not pressing charges. I'm not.
I love that you're like, that it, because that's a really interesting thing, that it took something external like this conviction for you to feel validated. Because, like a good little fucked up kid, all those years you were still like, with that codependent side, you're still being like, well, it's my fault. You said yourself, because I was a little promiscuous. Like, it's like Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, and Amber Heard is like not the perfect victim. So fucking what? The fact is, you look at every power dynamic in that relationship. I'm sorry. You've got a fucking drug addicted rapist and abuser fucking destroying this woman, and everyone's ripping on her. Like, no, these powerful people, these, again, narcissism, power dynamics. Yeah, I could that when you said that, you're like, you felt vindicated after he got convicted, as opposed to the whole time.
Friends didn't believe me. I told my mom and she didn't care, because I kept thinking, if my child came to me and said something like this, I mean, I would be going nuclear. I'd be finding this person. I would be like, you know what I mean? Like, it would hurt me so much. And I should have known then she didn't care about me, because it didn't affect her. She couldn't have empathy for anybody else.
I wonder though. So then let's dive back. I mean, Where did hers come from? Right?
Her mom was a stage mom. My mom was a very talented baton twirler. So her mom would put her on planes. She would travel by herself. I would bet good money she probably was sexually assaulted sometime in her life.
Yeah.
And her and my dad just kind of clung to these narratives of who they thought their parents were and just wouldn't give an inch and admit any of their trauma.
Yeah. Because that's a really interesting thing. Everyone that behaves like that is carrying all the weight of the generations before them. That it's this fucking boulder of pain we pass on from one person to the next person to the next person in all these different ways. And that was one of the things my godfather said in the conversation, where I said to him at one point, I said, "Who fucked you?" And he goes, "What?" I was like, "Who fucked you?" He's like, "Oh, stop, none of that. Don't do that bullshit where people say, oh, the blah, blah, blah. That's none of that. Just because, that's just that bullshit sort of thing." And I went, "But who did? Who fucked you?" And he went, "Oh, I'm not even going to entertain that sort of nonsense. All right. Okay. So my uncle came in and he sort of tells the story, and I'm like, oh, there you fucking are, brother."
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I solved it for you.
You got given the boulder and you carried it, right? And then you gave it to me because you didn't know how the fuck to put it down, when actually all you have to do, you motherfucker, is not then fuck the next kid, right? Is put thing down and stop it, right? And it takes incredible fortune. If you're the one that gets to have the opportunity of real trauma, right? And when I say real trauma, I actually don't mean big T trauma. I mean like that you get to have the sensitivity to feel whatever happened to you, right? And that can be neglect, that can be over involvement in your life, that can be sexual abuse, it can be physical abuse, it can be anything. Big T, little t trauma, we all fucking carry it, right? So if you have the fortune to be the one to recognize it, and the great luck to be the one that realizes that you can then just offload it, you get to stop so much shit that's going on. Like if you get to put that boulder down, you get to be the one that stops it. It's the most, I guess if I were Hindu, the most karmically wonderful thing to just go, oh, I'm not going to be that parent. I know you had that parent and they had that parent and they had that. I'm not going to be that parent. I'm going to fuck my children up in entirely new ways.
That's it. That's how I feel. Or I'm like, I know how I fucked them up. I'm prepared someday when we have this conversation of telling them how I got to be fucked up to do that to them and how I'm sorry. And they were also included on all the conversations for no contact. They were a part of everything.
Yeah.
And that's what my parents kept saying. You're manipulating the kids. I said, I'm not manipulating the kids. I am including them and telling them letting them know.
Yeah.
They're the ones seeing me cry because my parents didn't, you know what I mean? And and they wouldn't bring up the kids unless I brought them up. I never understood that because they acted like they were great grandparents. And then it was like they were just tools.
Yeah. Everything's seen through that self-reflexive lens, right? And that's narcissism. That's textbook narcissism, right? Everything is a reflection of me. Yeah. Fucking hell. Oh, it's so much fun. I love all the pain bits. I love all the trauma bits. That's what I look for in roles and things like that. Like it's the thing that I'm always looking for is where's the pain? And then how do I get to just swim in it? Like with so much joy, it's like people that take ice baths. You do it because it hurts, right? Like that's a painful fucking thing to do. And I'm like, I do that, but with emotion.
And you get paid to do it. That's even better.
I get paid to do it. I get paid to just like make myself feel like shit. I did a scene the other day where I was being strangled and get away, but like doing the scene over and over again. I get to the end of the day, I'm just cleaning off my tattoos and things in the makeup truck. I was like, wow, I think if we'd done maybe 1 or 2 more takes of that one, I would have probably had a little bit of a breakdown. And they're like, really? Because you looked like you were having so much fun. I was like, oh, I was having so much fun. But I realized that I was about 2 takes away from, I would have actually had I would have had a real problem. It was like, which was fun. It's nice to do that. It's nice to
because you got close, but you didn't cross it.
Yeah, exactly. Right there. Almost unleashed the pain demon, instead of like, or almost got bucked off the pain. I don't know how you want to say it, but like it was just like I had it. Oh, it was right here. Right here.
Well, now I'm going to think about that when mine comes out. I'll be like, "Oh, here we are. Okay, this is what we're doing."
It's really fun when you lose your fear of emotion, and not of being out of control, but when you lose this fear that the once it takes over, it's all you're going to know. Like that's how I've often had. It's like once if I let this go, it'll eat me. I'll never be able to be normal again. And then once I let go of that, it was like, oh, how much fun is this? I've got these is it Ramdas? He's the dude that's like, he's like, they're just my little schmooze. He's like, there's not a single mystic. There's not a single great soul that's ever gotten rid of any of its neuroses. He's like, look at Buddha, look at Christ, look at Muhammad. They're deeply neurotic individuals. He's like, no one gets rid of their neuroses. Instead, you just get to know them and they become your little schmooze. Those little Muppet schmooze, and they pop up and it's like, oh, hey Shmoo, how you doing? You popped up. This is your fear of not fitting in. This is your social anxiety. Hey, little socially anxious. How you want to come for a little ride today? Let's go do that.
Well, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, just be like you're there. You can't transcend shit, but it's just fun to play with it.
See, I like to think of mine as the 16-year-old version of myself. So then that's how I'm like, okay, we're going to listen to the music you like. You're going to eat what you like right now. And you know what I mean? I'm like, this is how I'm going to take care of myself.
It's so good to take little Sarah and actually look after her.
That's what makes me so sad. And I was telling Drew that last night, like the pain part for me is reflecting on how bad it was. And finally opening up and being like, that was really bad. And God, I wish I could be there to protect her. Like she deserved that.
But yes, so acknowledging it was bad, right? Like the rape, acknowledging, yeah, it was a fucking rape. And this guy was a shitbag. And I didn't bring it on myself. And all of these things. No one asks for this shit. That was bad. And then the next step is to go, little Sarah is still right there. And you can reach in and actually, and there's what's that reparenting thing and stuff, that give yourself a hug kind of thing. It fucking works. Like it's cheesy, but it works. Is to take little Sarah out to a movie sometime, just the two of you, and have her pick what it is and go and get some popcorn and have a fucking date. And just be like, hey, girl, I want you to know how amazing it gets. I don't think we're told that we can do that often enough.
No, because people are like, I'm not immature. I'm not like, do what made you happy when you were a little kid. Like those versions of yourself are in there. They never go away. You don't grow up and they go away. And that's why people have so many emotional problems. They're not listening to their inner child, and that's who's acting out.
Well, they're not taking care of themselves, all of their different selves. I had this that was a really powerful moment for me in this breathwork meditation I was doing in LA. It's such happy shit, but it kind of is amazing. It works. And I was doing this breath work with Michael Cass. He's amazing. And I'd gone, and it's sort of, you kind of hallucinate. It's a little psychedelic when you do it. And I was off in this really, really core trauma memory of an event that happened when I was probably about 12 or 13. And I was reliving this one. It's one of the like really emblematic ones of all the times I was diddled. It's the one that just really, one of the ones that really sticks with me. And I had my little children at that point. They would have been like 5 or 6 years old, my little ones. I've got twins. And so I was discovering that I was actually a pretty good dad, which was nice. And how I could relate to them when they were sad and all. Like, I was like, I can look after these children in a way that I never was. It's like really powerful and really lovely. And then I was in this memory with me, little me, and just doing the thing that I do with my kids, which was just listening and validating. I was right there in the memory being like, hey, brother, this is bad. You're right to be upset. And I'm with you and I love you and it's great. And as I'm there doing this, I hear Michael being like, all right, come back. And I went into a panic because I was like, I can't leave here. I've got to stay here. And there was this panicky moment. And then I was like, oh, hang on. I can stay here and go back at the same, like I can suddenly see time in a different dimensional thing, blah, blah, blah. That's meditation wank. But to go into like, I don't have to leave little Jonno. I can just stay with him and sort of forever be that parent, be that connection that he never had. And I think it was, that again was one of those milestone moments in my sort of trauma journey of going, it's not the past, it's the right now. And so if I deal with it in the right now, if I look after me right now, little me, I can keep holding this guy forever and just be like, dude, I'm never going to leave you. I'm never going to let you just be alone and hurting. So looking after little Sarah, I love that idea.
Well, I meditate as well. I went to a sound meditation and had the same thing. And I kind of, let's get woo-woo here because it fucking works. It fucking works. It's just period. It works.
Yeah.
But I talked to every version of myself that kind of went through something traumatic and was like, even the pill version of myself, that was really hard to forgive myself. You know what I mean? I did damage to my marriage and my kids. But I said, like, you were the one that had the guts to do the hardest thing, to say, this is not normal. I don't want to do this. And you did the hard work. And thank you.
And like getting off pills, getting off like the strength, man. Because that addiction is all about getting back to you, right? It's like it's a way of like you do it to kill the part of you that you're living with all the rest of the time. In my experience, like alcohol, shit like that, I'm like, it's always like I'm just doing it so I can feel normal for a little while, to
silence the voices.
Yes, silence all those voices, Yeah. And again, to finally have the courage to go, you know what? I got to live with those voices. I've actually got to listen to them. I've got to accept them, live with them, and then they go away. Yeah.
I had insomnia for years, doing meditation, going to therapy, dealing with all that. It's gone. That's what's tough. Like, I haven't cried about my mom. I haven't really cried about my dad. I know exactly why they were the way they were. You know what I mean? I've been in therapy since 2018. I know why they were the way they were. I know why they raised me. Like it's all just acceptance at this point. It sucks, but there was never a time that my dad, even if he lived another 30 years, was going to see that he did anything wrong and come to me and say, Sarah, I'm sorry. And I have closure and now they're done. And it is a weird feeling to be the one with the dead parents, though. I'm still processing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where I'm like, my parents are dead.
Yeah.
But also, and I don't know if this is your experience, me going through those hard things and getting through it, I did that also so other people who weren't strong enough had something. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of, I'm okay with going through all that pain if it means something and if it means someone else not having to have it so bad.
And I think that's I think that's where pain therapy, woo woo, all that shit, when it comes to, when it begins to have an effect, I think is when you begin to realize that what you're doing is for someone else, is for other people. I was really lucky. I had that when I was in the court case with my godfather. I had after I spent 2 days on the witness stand and under cross-examination. They don't do that these days in sex crime trials, I don't think, in child abuse trials, but it's much more gentle, whereas this was like fully antagonistic cross-examination for 2 days. And I got off the stand. We went home that night and we got a call from the court stenographer. So she's the stenographer at the Auckland High Court. And she calls me and is like, I just want to say I was so, I think you should be so proud of yourself of what you've done for so many people on that stand today over the last 2 days. And it was the most incredible thing. And it really made me go, oh, wow, this isn't about me. Like all this thing that I'm doing, this is because, and that's why I actually, that's why I put him in jail, was because very quickly I realized that I had a great dude that I ended up walking into, is this head shrinker at my university, it was just total dude, not dude bro, like a man, like he was like this lean, old, mean looking, chain smoking, looked like a longshoreman, but like a skinny, like he looked like the mean little fucker, you know? And he was just great. And he was like, why are you protecting this fuckhead? I was like, what do you mean? He's like, well, he's fucking other kids. I was like, no. It was just us. It was this precious relationship. He told me.
Yeah, I'm special.
And exactly. Jeff was like, yeah, you keep believing that, you fucking idiot. I was like, hang on, we're doing this now? He's like, yeah, we're doing this. He's like, you keep protecting him. You protect him. And that was where I went, oh, okay, well, fuck you. I'll go to the cops. And he's like, fuck you, go do it. And I did.
He went home and he was like,
oh, it was amazing. But it was that thing of going, oh my God, if this is happening to other boys, I'm the one that gets to stop it. If I take the scary step, oh, that's cool. Yeah. So when you do all of the work, when it really gets good is when you get to take that work, take that wisdom, take whatever the shit you've gleaned from it, and then put it into the world. Right? Which is what the podcast is, it's like, hey, can we just reflect a mirror at each other? Can we go, guess what? All of your shit is my shit. All of those things that you think make you uniquely pained and uniquely special, they're not at all. Like, we're all fucked up. We all carry trauma. It's an emergent property of the way our prefrontal cortex is structured. Like trauma is a function of the human brain. It's not a function of war and child abuse. It's a function of how we experience negative experiences, whatever they may be. And if we say that, if we open that concept up, then suddenly we can actually link together and grow together and go, oh, wow, there's a future. there's a future with beautiful pain rather than painful pain.
That's it. Like I said, if somebody had to go through it, I'll do it. I was always that person, the first to volunteer, I'll go through it. And it makes you a better person. Like, I feel like I'm more kind to people once I got through it. And I'll hold on to this forever. I remember saying in therapy, I just want to feel like myself again.
Yeah.
During the withdrawal stuff, I said, I just want to feel like myself again. And I genuinely didn't even know what that meant until I felt like myself again. And then I was like, well, I'm never losing this again. I know that turned me into my mother. And that's the thing. I walked in her shoes. I lived her life. She turned me into her for years. And she would always say, I know you better than you know yourself. No, I knew her better than she knew herself. My survival depended on it.
It's so interesting going back to that first marriage where you said you'd sit there and be like, you're fucking stupid. Like that. Like that's I was like, wow, that's you playing your mother's role, right? That's you in the abusive relationship, taking the beats and hating on the thing and being like, look at me, look at my martyrdom, and hating the guy the whole time, and creating the other thing is also going like we're creating this shit ourselves. We're making it just as shit.
Oh, that was it. Believe me, I gave as good as I took. Like, it wasn't, I was just a poor little, like, it was so toxic. And now I'm like, why did I not just leave? Why? You convince yourself of things, I think, when you're younger, that I needed my parents. I needed to be with somebody. I wasn't good enough on my own. When that was never true. I wish I just but coulda, woulda, shoulda, and I wouldn't be here, and I'm perfectly happy where I am. And that's the other reason I want to do the podcast, is I think people maybe look at me and think my life is a certain way, and it has not been pretty, and we're going to fucking Greece and Turkey.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Pretty blonde, and like you must have had exactly, all that stuff.
And it's like, no, I scraped and survived to get here. And I'm not gonna be I fucking went to Greece and Turkey this summer. I fucking did it.
It's amazing. I want to go
Little
to Greece
girl from Sandwich. We want to come visit you in New Zealand really bad. Drew won't stop talking about it.
Come hang out. It's wintertime right now, but it's a nice place.
I know. Oh, do you know the comedian Sam Smith?
No.
Oh, he's in New Zealand. I don't know why I decided all of you just know each other.
He's a Kiwi.
Yeah, he was on Traders New Zealand.
Oh wow, I'm so out of. I live here, but I live deep in the country, and I don't do things.
That's good. That's good, though.
I consume very little media, and I'm just like hanging out.
That sounds lovely.
Yeah. I'm pretty good with a power tool. I'm pretty good with it. I make fish.
I'm a survivor.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that. It's like, I buried one of our goats the other day. No, I just like. Oh, no. Well, yeah, Sam Smith. I don't know Sam Smith. I should know Kiwi comics. I used to do comedy here a long time ago. I came back with material that would kill in Brooklyn. Oh my God. I did this set in Wellington in New Zealand. I did this set about being a child sexual abuse survivor. And it was so upsetting for the people there. Like I said, I did this at like Butterboy in Brooklyn. That was the first time I did it. It was great. And it just silenced the audience, but they fucking loved it, and it was great. It's dark stuff, but it was fun stuff. I did it in New Zealand, and they put me briefly on a register of, like, on this little underground Me Too kind of list of unsafe male comedians, because people found it too confronting. And my wife found out about this, and she's like, hang on, this is a sex crime survivor talking about his experience, and you're putting him on the list of guys that are unsafe because they are abusive. And I think they were like, well, one of the women there felt very unsafe around him afterwards because he should have given a trigger warning about, before he did the comedy or whatever. I was like, one, it's fucking comedy. I don't think I should have trigger warnings. And two, again, I'm sorry if that triggered you, but that wasn't me threatening you. And my wife goes, she's like, what was the line she said to the woman? She was like, hey, he's talking about surviving it. If he had a vagina, he would be your queen. And it was like I was like, oh, that's such a sweet thing to say, my darling.
I know that's true love right there. You knew like she really loved you then.
But I kind of stopped doing comedy after that. I was like, oh, I feel like this. Maybe I am a little too. Didn't mean to be edgelordy at all. I just had some stuff that I thought was funny.
Baby Reindeer. Did you watch Baby Reindeer?
I didn't, although I want to. I hear it's great.
It's basically your story. I mean, more or less, like, so, and he won fucking awards for that and stuff. So you're on a list in New Zealand.
I know, I was just like, but I'm so not. Like, I'm the most, I forget sometimes, because I've been, my wife and I, we just had our 23rd wedding anniversary. I'm so besotted with this woman, and I forget sometimes that the way we talk to each other, you can't have outside, so, but like, we would be walking down the street and there'd be someone just gorgeous and she'd be like, look how beautiful that girl is. And I'm like, oh my God, like and I'm just like this father husband guy, like, look at the beauty of this thing, and it's just, and I am so sexless. And not that I say things, but a couple of times I've caught myself almost saying something to someone, like to a girl somewhere, and wanting to be like, you are so fucking beautiful. You're so fortunate. And I'm like, if I say that, that will sound like I'm going, hello. Oh, wow. Yeah, no, hang on. Inside voice. Spend too much time alone in the country. Like, not good at relating to people anymore. I'm the most like I'm like this little idiot walking through the world. It's like no clue. So yeah,
there's nothing wrong with that. We had the same thing. We were walking up a hill in Turkey. I was behind, Drew was in front of me with our son, and there was this gorgeous blonde, like these thin little white shorty shorts. And I come around, I go, I hope you're enjoying the view. And he's like, what? I go, no, I'm serious. Look at that ass. Like, that is. And then I saw another dad with his kid turn and check it out. I go, see, he's looking at her ass too. It is nice. Like, because same as you, he's not going anywhere. It was a nice ass. And what am I supposed to be like? Don't look at an ass in your face. Like, enjoy it. You enjoy a beautiful song.
Yeah, my wife can't stand rugby, which is like the national sport here, and I grew up playing it. And we went to a big rugby game one time. She still talks about watching the guys stretch because we were right at the end of the end goal area kind of thing, and they came before the game. They were doing their warm ups, and the reserves actually are warming up there during the course of the game. And she's like, these like astonishing 20-something athletes, Polynesian guys, and like the whole thing, just doing because they're so flexible as well. So they're just full stretching out and stuff. And she's just, she and one of our friends are just sitting there like, we will come to rugby just for the warm-ups. We want to watch because those men fucking stretching.
Like, don't.
It was so cute watching them, like two girls in a candy store, just like, did you see the thighs?
You're like, girl, I did. Woo.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like,
getting me too.
I watched Troy specifically to see Brad Pitt's thighs in a skirt. I mean,
it's objective. It's not sexual.
Exactly.
We were walking, and in Greece, we were doing a tour, and I tell you, I saw the most beautiful cop. Like, I was like, arrest me right now. Like, what? I almost wanted to take a picture with him, but I'm like, but he's like a real, like, and then Drew turns around. He goes, I knew you were going to say something about that guy. I'm like, how could you not? He was gorgeous.
I mean, going back to the earlier conversation, my daughter's 12 now, but my kids are 12. And, she's developed incredibly quickly. She got a period anyway, she very early, and she's stunning. And as I'm looking at the girls around her age and stuff, I became acutely aware of the fact of this generative trauma that women must have. I think every woman has, of being innocent in the world, and then suddenly the male gaze shifts. And the male gaze becomes uncomfortable. It becomes threatening. It becomes, and you're 11, 12, 13 years old. You're just a child. You're such a child. And suddenly you're being looked at in a very different way. And so because of that and that awareness, like that's the one time that I really police myself. Not police. I don't have to police myself because my mind doesn't go there. But I'm really aware of being around girls in this period and being like, I see them as my daughter. Like if I catch myself seeing like some pretty, you see this 15-year-old child on the beach, a girl in the little bikini with her boyfriend, all this sort of stuff. And you'll see this thing and it's like, holy fuck, that is a perfect. And then going, and that's a child. And you turn that switch off. Now that's when they're a little more womanly, but it's like it's being really aware of that, because I think so. There's that moment, and I think the worst thing, and again, this is being really conscious of it with my daughter. There's then that moment where I was talking with someone whose parents divorced when she was around 12 or 13, and then the father had an affair or something, and that was what it was when she was 13, 14 years old. And I went, how horrible to be going through this period where men have that sex. Suddenly they become these ravening sexual animals. But then to see your father as also one of those, they're like, oh my God, he's just the same. He's just as filthy. He's the same, like here he is fucking this other woman and stuff. So that's the one thing that I really police myself around younger women and my daughter and things, is to be like, I am completely asexual when it comes to those, because I'm like, I want to be so clear that I am not that person.
Yeah, you're like, I'm a safe place.
Exactly, just to be
closed down for business.
Yeah, and right now with zombies coming out and stuff, and there's so many kids that are so excited about, oh, you're in the zombies world, and it's the Disney thing. And I had a little bit with Harry Potter because I was Draco in Harry Potter and on Broadway. So I've been in that fan world a little bit, and just again being so clear that in zombies, I am Nova's dad. I am not like there is these fucking walls around, because having little girls, sort of run up, teenage girls run up. They're like, oh, wow, you're Mr. Such and such. And there's the parent and there's the child and all this other stuff. And just being so clear. I'm thrilled to be, yes, it's lovely to meet you and let's have a photo together and all this sort of stuff. And I am not that guy.
I always say that to Drew. I'm like, aren't you glad we have boys? He's like, I'm so glad I never have to even worry about that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how are chicks with younger guys? Like, I love my son. He's an idiot. Like, I don't understand this. Like, what? But that's somebody else's trauma, lurching onto somebody else's trauma.
Yeah, we're all fucked.
Well, on that note, I feel like that's a great place to stop. We're all fucked.
There we go. We're all fucked. I mean, that's about as wise as it gets.
We're all fucked. Go see Zombies 4.
Yeah, yes. Go to your local cinema and watch Zombies 4. Yeah. Oh, hang on.
Jonno's got a property to pay for. I did. I loved seeing you the preview. I was like, oh my God, it made me so happy.
Dude, we just laugh. We're like, it's just a film, in terms of me, we're like, all I did for most of the film, most of my shoot, were just shots of me walking at the head of a group of people. We did so many takes in so many locations. Like I'd be called into sets, like, what are you doing today? I was like, it's another day of purposeful walking. And we watched the film. She's like, there you go again. I'm just walking purposefully to a new place. Purposeful walking.
Hey, that's a talent.
Hey, having purpose and walking. It's like, it's hard to do two things at once.
But you're very good at it. And I have to say, last thing, Drew and I were convinced in La Brea, there was a scene where you were like, this is my friend Elliot. And like in our mind, like we built it up that you were like, Elliot, and like rubbing his arm. So we're rewatching it and we're like, Elliot's coming. Elliot's coming. You go, this is my good friend Elliot. It's off camera. We both look at each other. We're like, how did we both like vividly have the same memory that did not happen? It didn't happen. And we were asking you about it. And we're like, how could you not fucking remember that? And now we're like, because it didn't fucking happen.
It's the Mandela effect. My favorite one of those is a play I did in New York called Bug. And Tracy Let's Play. Mike Shannon originally played the lead, and then I replaced Mike in it. And it was a fantastic play to do. Anyway, it starts with it's a very photorealistic motel in 90s Oklahoma motel room. It's all set in this motel room. And it starts with Agnes, the character, standing in the doorway, looking out into the night, smoking a cigarette. Now, the doorway's off stage left, and there's just, and Carmelita is playing by Warren Zevon. And she's just standing there, smoking a cigarette, looking out into the night as this plays, and that's how the lights come up. And I had a number of friends say that they dropped into the sort of photorealistic nature of the film when she's looking into the parking lot and you hear a car drive past through the lot, and she watches it go, and the headlights sweep across her. So she just gets lit as the headlights turn. And it's just this thing where you're like, holy fuck, okay, this is a real place. We're not just in a theater. We're in Oklahoma. We're in this place. And I had a few friends say like they dropped into the world of the play as the headlights swept across her. And I was like, that's brilliant. I mean, it's exactly right. That's a fantastic moment that never happens. Like, what? It's like, I was sitting on that. There are no lights. We didn't have like motorized lights to project and they're like, no, but we saw the headlights as the car goes past, the headlights just sweep across her body in the nighttime. And she's like, and I was like, no, they didn't. And they could not believe it. I was like, no, that was your mind created that. You put yourself in the world and your mind filled it up. And I was like, that's all we're fucking doing when we're making movies, TV shows, theater, whatever it is. It's what is it? The chorus from Henry V? Let us on your imaginary forces work. When we speak of horses, think that you see them printing their proud hooves of the receiving earth. Little Shakespeare.
I'm very impressed. I know. So impressive.
But yeah, that's funny. Dear sweet Elliot. No, I have no. Who was Elliot?
He was like some guy that was letting you in the bunker, and like we were convinced you were like Elliot.
That's right.
Yeah,
I remember that. Yeah, but
it was Elliot.
Yeah, he was totally an extra on the day. I think I gave him that name. Now I remember. I think that was improv. I think that was just standing there fucking around and like just having a laugh on set while they're setting things up. And because I know that when you're an extra or a guest on a set, you're in such a weird no man's land of just like, okay, and then you've got the actors and you don't know what to do. So I'm always just like, hey man, welcome, lovely to meet you. Let's hang out. We've got a date. Let's just muck around today. What do you do? What are you interested in? So we had created this story that my God, now I totally we had created entire backstories, like laughing that we were lovers, that he was my long son, like we had, and that was, I think there's Natalie in that. I feel like Natty may have been a part of that, but we had just
definitely you guys were breaking into the bunker at the end, season 2. Yes,
yeah, we had created, and he's literally there just for that scene. While we were sitting around, we were just telling all these stupid stories. And the guy himself was a little quiet and a little, oh, shucks, but just laughing more and more. We were having so much fun. And that was, oh, now I remember. You saw something that was very, very, very real, but we
picked up on it.
Oh, it was a bunch of actors fucking around.
Yep, we picked up on it instantly. Instantly.
I have to go back and watch that again. I never.
Oh, I'm telling.
What I do, but that's yeah. Oh, that's hysterical. No, that was real. That was real. That was real. That was actors mucking around, making something real.
Okay, good. We thought we were losing it. So have you kept in contact with anybody from La Brea? Because let me tell you, I reached out and you're the only one that got back to me.
Oh, wow.
No offense, other people on La Brea. I don't think people are knocking down your doors.
Look, they're I'm trying to think.
I'm sure they're lovely. They're lovely, I'm sure. Lovely to people really that they respond to.
I got like really cool. I have a name tumor. I can't remember anyone's names. Natty and I are the only ones that sort of stay in touch.
The star of the show, the big dog. You were like, no, yeah, I just
everyone else, they can go themselves.
Yeah.
No, who's the guy that played the one that had cancer or something?
Oh, Cheeky, whatever. Yeah. Cheeky something.
He was just stunning. And also like me is like a theater guy. He's a thespian, an actor's actor. And the first day we were on set, after the first day we were on set, we had this, my first episodes, 2 episodes especially, were just me talky constantly. It was so much exposition. Anyway, I think I met him in the second episode of the season, or my second episode or whatever. And on the day, he's like, I'm really excited to work with you. I've heard everyone saying how much, it was really nice. Everyone was saying it was nice to work with me. And we did the scene. And I think it was the scene where he sort of talks about the fact that he's got cancer. And I'm like, I could heal you or something. And he went pretty raw with that scene. We both went pretty raw with the scenes. And he wrote me a card and got it delivered to me on set the next time I was there, where he wrote me this card being like he's like, that was one of the best days I've had on set in a very long time, because he's like, we got to actually get to work deeply with someone else, when so often you're just churning lines out and getting the camera moved and then churn the lines out. And we both sort of gave each other permission to really explore it. And it was like working with someone that has got you, that can catch you when you fall. And he wrote me the most lovely card. And I've never had that from anyone on a set. I was like, that is it was such a lovely thing to do. He was a beautiful actor to work with. But it was really, really sweet. Really sweet.
Wow.
Isn't that wild?
That's so cute. That's so nice.
Yeah, it was so
Look
lovely.
at you.
Yeah.
Him and Natty Z. Everyone else can suck a dick, apparently. They just...
The only other thank you card I ever got was from... I can't remember her name right now. She's a young singer. She works with her brother.
Billie Eilish?
Billie Eilish.
Was it really?
Yeah.
No way.
Came backstage at Harry Potter, and of all the people that came backstage and hung out with us, I think Whoopi Goldberg used to send us things, but Billie Eilish sent a thank you note. Like, thank you for everything. Thank you for the show. Thank you for hosting me. Like, it was so lovely to hang out.
Whoa, your kids must be impressed with that one.
Isn't that gorgeous? A thank you from Billie Eilish.
I'm impressed I guessed that, honestly.
This is how you can see how old I am, that I lose every name that goes near me.
I'm good with faces. That's it. But I was like, I know this one.
Yeah. We
had that trauma bond now, you and I. Our brains work the same.
T for trauma.
Big for T for trauma.
All right, let's finish this thing. Otherwise, people are going to die.
Yes.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you. I've missed you, Jonno. When you disappear, you're not just a guest, you're a friend. We love you. And we love, and full disclosure, I don't want anything to do with you sexually too. So we're so good there.
We're done.
You have your wife. I'm good.
Drew's he's looking pretty good these days.
I know. Well, hey, I wouldn't blame you if you try. I had a dream before we did this that we were someplace and it was like a $50 hand job. And he's like, I'm going to go get one. And I was like, What? Okay. Like, isn't that so weird? Like,
It's wonderfully a dream.
there you go. So you might have a dream about your wife getting a hand job for $50 tonight now. Then you can message me and be like,
I wonder if I pay her 50 if I'd get one myself. I'd be like,
that's worth every penny.
they would cost more than that.
Well, thank you so much, Jonno. I'll let you get back to your day, but don't be a stranger and don't forget, make today your bitch.